What's the worst physical pain you've ever experienced? Got electrocuted so bad my heart stopped and I shot across the room. When I was resuscitated it felt like every muscle and tendon in my body was trying to rip themselves out. Horse got scared and bucked me off. I broke 3 ribs and landed in cholla cacti. Broken ribs is terrible, but having to pull thousands of needles out of your back, arms, legs, neck, and arse, I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. Cluster headaches, I've them for about 10 years. I've recently figured out that taking a small dose of magic mushrooms and chugging an energy drink will usually stop a headache within 20 minutes for me. My quality of life has improved immensely in the last few years. For me it was 5 tooth extractions in the same sitting followed by an immediate partial. The first 9 hours, you know that out of nowhere excruciating pain you might feel from time to time that's enough to cripple you over. I felt that constantly with no let up. No waves, no throbs, just constant torturous pain. Testicular infection. It was like getting kicked in the nuts every time I moved too much. Lasted almost 3 days. I'm getting queasy just thinking about it. The balloon thing they do during labor to force your cervix to open. No dramatics intended, I really thought I was going to die from the pain of it. One day I woke up with a crick in my neck. I felt sick so I went to the bathroom. Started diarrheaing. Felt nauseous. Started puking. As I was puking I did something to the crick in my neck. I started getting sharp pain in waves. It made me scream every time it came. On top of that I was still puking. Could do nothing but sit there and scream and puke. Eventually it stopped. I stood up and looked at myself in the mirror. I looked like a zombie. Turns out I got the 24-hour flu at the worst time. Kidney stones. I didn't know what was causing the pain, but I was certain I was going to die and hoping it wasn't going to take much longer. Pulling surgical gauze out of the craters left after my pilonidal cyst surgery. I passed out from the pain and woke up convulsing. I had a testicular torsion, worst pain you can imagine, like getting kicked full force in the gonads. Went into the hospital, the nurse had a look, got the doctor straight away, got me on fentanyl and a flight to another hospital for emergency surgery. Had at least 20 doctors take a feel, even had the new trainee doctors have a look. Couldn't walk for a couple of weeks after. Highly don't recommend and can happen to anyone at any time. A stomach ache, which sounds like small beans, but it was truly excruciating. What happened, I didn't eat anything especially bad, but it was embarrassing. Incontinence cause I had to go to the bathroom but I couldn't get up, just cried and felt suicidal. The next day, I felt fine. What the hell, man? Having my knee run over by a car, being rolled around like a rag doll, getting road rash all over me and tearing open my chest. Wisdom teeth removal aftermath. Didn't receive any painkillers, just went home high off anesthesia and about 30 minutes later is when the real pain kicked in. Felt like a lot of small bugs were eating away my mouth. Had to endure that for around an hour until I actually got painkillers. Second worst was probably a 40 miles per hour tennis ball to the nuts. IDC what anyone says, large dicks aren't fun, and getting G hit in the cervix is not fun either. Never again. I once passed 3 stones in one kidney and 2 in the other one at the same time. I was pissing almost pure blood. When I tried to pee, it hurt so bad I passed out and came to on the bathroom floor. The people were shocked that I could walk. They put me in a wheelchair and I sat there crying. I'd rather not do that again. Severe gout attack, definitely worse than compound leg fracture or man-of-war stings, for me. Unrelenting pain for several days. Almost hard to breathe. I could see someone ending themselves in that situation. Maybe it's happened, I don't know. I have seen this listed on surveys of pain level. Had shingles in my brain and I accompanied by a headache that felt like there was a metal rod going through my brain. The pain was so unbearable I had trouble walking to the car to have my wife drive to the I was in so much pain I didn't feel it, all I felt was fear that I was going to die, and the worst part is I had no idea what was causing the pain. This was more painful than breaking bones in my hands, feet and arm, and more painful than herniated discs from a motorcycle accident. I took a really severe hit to the balls once. You know that feeling right before a pimple pops? That's how both my nuts felt. I literally blacked out, woke up surrounded by vomit. It was pretty savage. Burn with melted glass behind the neck. I was 12 and my brother was a dick. I had to rip it off by myself from the flesh, skin was burnt. I still have the scar after more than 10 years. A drop or two of molten metal fell on my finger while welding once. Good thing I had my gloves on. Just kidding, it burned through them. I could feel the burn for about 2 to 3 days. Got a pretty decent pain tolerance, clumsy AF. Slipped on some ice last year off the front door steps, landed directly on my tailbone. Next time it freezes over. Not going outside. Nope. I broke my hand twice left and right, but what the hell is this plantar fasciitis pain? Shit hurts like hell and I guess my old age is a factor too. Ruptured spinal disc with a badly pinched nerve. Couldn't function without heavy drugs for 3 months. I once slammed my thumb in a school door as a child, broke the tip of the bone. Never hurt worse than dunking that thing in water to wash the blood away. I broke my tailbone. Twice. I think I actually went into shock. There's not even anything you can do about it besides wait it out. To think I didn't learn my lesson drunk dancing in heels on a wet floor the first time. Worst pain, kidney stones. Dilaudid is an amazing thing. Life-changing pain, trigeminal neuralgia. When the thought of removing one side of your face to stop the pain becomes an option, shit is getting real. Ever felt like all of your top teeth on one side of your face are trying to explode? Ever felt a ice pick through your nose? All fun stuff caused by tiny little nerves. My appendix trying to kill me. It was like gas pain so bad that it drops you to your knees, except it never let up. Severe tendonitis in my rotator cuff. 4 days of nearly unbearable pain, the kind that makes you shake if I moved my arm so much as an inch. Couldn't sleep much because I couldn't lay down, and struggled to walk because the impact would rock my arm. Strangely enough, after immobilizing in a sling for a few days, it went away as quickly as it had come on. Though occasionally after playing sports, I can feel it's on the brink. I needed surgery to remove a benign tumor in my upper arm near the shoulder. They needed to drill a guide into the bone before the operation. It should have been done when I was under anesthesia. They did it when I was awake. Not a great experience, but it was short, so compared to other things in this thread I think it wasn't too bad. When I was a kid, I got the flu while on vacation. During the 6-hour drive home, I remember sitting in the back seat writhing in pain and sobbing. It felt like my insides were literally moving. I've never experienced that kind of stomach pain before, nor have my flus ever been that intense since.